At Intel, world-changing ideas start with real solutions, and real solutions start with exceptional engineering. The quantum computing revolution, the next generation of AI experts, the renewable energy grid, early diagnosis for cancer. The examples are countless, the impacts are endless, but the foundation is always the same. It starts with Intel. Learn more at intel.com/stories.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. That's the sound of switching your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling. Harness the best converting checkout and same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Stop leaving sales on the table. Discover why millions trust Shopify to build, grow, and run their business. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech23.
Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Let's get ready to rumble. Okay?
Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic.
Psych.
Psych.
I feel like we're showing our age there, but, you know.
George, well, you say that, but George loves that song.
Ah, excellent. Well, let's drop a beat and start this bloody thing, okay? Hello and welcome to Unequal Sequel.
Extra.
It's Friday, y'all. God, it's Friday, y'all. What am I?
All right, Joe Rogan.
Right, cowboy. Sorry, I'm not quite sure where that come from, but you're listening to Unequal Sequel Extra. Welcome.
You sound so excited, Dave.
Oh God, the man you can hear is my co-host Rich. Hello, Rich. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm loving this episode already because you've already made like 3 mistakes and just look crestfallen about the whole thing. So that bodes really well for the rest of this episode.
It's going to be a good one. I feel alive.
It is. This is a bit of an odd episode, really, isn't it? I suppose.
Yes, but it is a sequel. It's a sequel.
It is definitely. It's very much a sequel, and we very much watched it at the cinema together.
Wasn't it a nice outing? Firstly, just tell them what we're doing, and then we'll talk about our lovely evening out.
We are reviewing the new director's...
Do we review anything? Do we review...
We're talking about...
Yeah, there we go.
We're talking about the new director's cut of Rocky 4.
Rocky versus Drago.
Yeah.
That's what they named
Rocky
it.
versus Drago. Yeah, it's changed his name for some reason. And I would say it's like an extended director's cut, but I actually think it's shorter than the original.
It's 2 minutes longer.
It's 2 minutes longer. It felt shorter.
Yeah, but it's because, for people who don't know, he took out 40 minutes of footage and he's added 42 minutes of new footage. So it's quite an interesting concept because normally when it comes to director's cut or whatever cuts, they're not really that different. There's like 7 minutes added somewhere. It's apart if you look at Peter Jackson and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and it's normally the director's like, that's the perfect version, I'm just going to tweak it slightly. Whereas Stallone has gone back and gone, I'm getting rid of all this. I've never liked any of it.
Yeah.
I'm changing it all.
We went to a screening and there was a Q&A beforehand with Stallone. I'm not quite sure if anyone else watched this. And it was quite interesting seeing him talk about his experiences with the movie back in 1985, what he thinks of it now, and what he changed and what he didn't change. So what has gone? The robot has gone.
The robot's gone, yeah.
Brigitte Nielsen's gone, pretty much.
She's not totally gone, but yeah, he's basically just got revenge on his ex-wife by cutting her out of the movie.
Literally
pretty much.
Every word she says. The beginning's different.
Yeah.
And there's bits more of Apollo Creed at the beginning before his, spoilers, dies. And there's a bit more at the funeral from Tony Burton, Duke.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's good. And
that's very poignant.
Apparently, I was reading he's toned down some of the punching noises.
Okay.
And he's put some some original music from the original Rockies back in. So he's tried to flush out the plot a little bit more, maybe, and give characters a bit more.
Yeah, concentrating more on the characters, I think, rather than,
Yeah.
maybe the montage.
Rich, what's the storyline? What's the plot?
Rocky has a fight
In Russia.
in Russia
On Christmas
so
Day.
The plot is, I know that's weird. The plot is that Stallone is the world champion. He is challenged by unknown Russian fighter, essentially, who's like the world amateur champion, but not professional, not any professional fights, but is essentially appears to have been built in a Russian lab out of concrete and
Drugs.
hair gel. Yeah, drugs. Rocky doesn't want to fight him. The Board of Boxing Control don't want him to fight, but Apollo agrees to fight with disastrous consequences. Rocky then takes up the mantle, gives back all his world titles, and flies off to Russia to fight this guy on Christmas Day. Yeah, and unite the world.
Yeah.
Ending the Cold War.
And it's beautiful. Do you think that Rocky IV needed a director's cut?
I didn't until we went to watch it, and then actually I really quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think it kind of felt a more rounded movie, the director's cut, than the original.
And why do you think that? Should we go into that now, or should we save a bit?
Yeah, I mean, why not? Let's go into it now. I think, like we said, the characters kind of felt a little bit more rounded. Like he gave them a bit more time. It felt less focused on a lot of the montage stuff, a lot of the action kind of stuff, and a bit more focused on the people. I think we've got a bit more of Adrian, like I say, just a bit more emotion, really. Stallone obviously tried to. He said he wanted to humanise Drago a bit more. I'm not sure he quite managed that, really, but
No.
maybe a little.
They should have left out the certain line when he, if he dies, he dies.
Yeah, they left that. He left that in, and I think if you wanted to humanise the guy a bit more, you take that line out, don't you? Right?
I think so.
Yeah.
They did try before that point. There's some press conferences, and he's trying to make it that Drago is a human being kind of thing. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not this robot. But then that kind of takes away from a point of the original film. When I say original film, I'm talking about Rocky IV.
Yeah.
That he is this man pretty much grown in a lab to beat Rocky, this perfect specimen. So when they try and give him a personality, I don't think it's needed, to be honest.
No, I mean it probably isn't needed, but I think that the whole robot metaphor is kind of gone from this movie, isn't it? So.
Yeah,
I'm not sure it really was a great metaphor anyway, but yeah, the comedy robot that Paulie like reprograms to have a sexy lady voice.
Oh my god, yeah.
How Paulie can reprogram a robot? Like he can't even tie his shoes.
I'm not quite sure. Paulie is not really at the start of this film. He only turns up when they get to Russia. They pretty much cut anything of him before, because most of these scenes are with the robot. Do you want to know why they cut the robot out? Or this is what there's the man who's got the rights to the robot. So every time the robot was used, he gets paid, and he reckons he got cut from that film so Stallone wouldn't have to pay the rights to use the robot.
Really? Oh, because Stallone basically in the Q&A says it just feels really clunky, which it's true.
It does. It does age it.
Yeah, it does age.
But then again, it's also a metaphor about how much money Rocky's got and how much he's just throwing it around willy-nilly.
True.
Watching it back, didn't miss the robot at all. I was like, oh my god, you can't get rid of the robot. You can get rid of the robot.
You can.
The robot is not missed, I'm happy to report. Guys, we'll always have Rocky IV, the original version, if you want to watch that as well. I'm just saying that.
Exactly.
They're
If you really like the robot, you can just watch the robot bits. There's clips of it on YouTube. If that's your thing, go for it.
If that's your thing.
I really enjoyed it. I think some of the ideas that Stallone came out with in the Q&A. So he sort of teased potentially a TV show.
Yeah.
Like a Rocky prequel TV show, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which Dave doesn't feel very keen on. I do think. There are a few bits in that interview that sort of dragged a little bit, and it was a little bit like Stallone had turned into Grandpa Simpson. It was like, and we did a lot of montage, which was the style at the time.
All right, Grandad. No, he is right though. It is definitely Rocky IV. Definitely feels and looks and sounds like a film from 1985.
Yeah, this version feels a bit more up to date though. You know, a little bit more.
As much as it can be when you're remaking a film from 1985.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was worried every time because I'm a massive fan of the montages, and I was worried that he was going to cut one of them. I'm pretty happy to report all the good ones stay. So, like, no Burning Desire still there, Hearts on Fire still there, No Easy Way Out still there. They're all still intact, and they're still brilliant.
Yeah.
So don't have any panics about that. That was my biggest concern.
No, it's still really, it still holds up really nicely. It still hits all the beats that you're going to want to see from the original Rocky.
Yeah, it still feels like a Rocky film.
Definitely. It's great.
What I found funny from the Q&A was Stallone, they're literally the same person, is annoyed that he basically killed off Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
He really wish he hadn't done that, because he got rid of a talking board for him in the movie. So he's trying to add more Apollo in this and give Apollo more of a reason to fight Drago, and it's quite interesting what they do. You know, more about the beast inside and how fighters die on their feet, and it's the code, the warrior's code and stuff. I
still don't quite buy it though. I still don't get really Apollo's reasoning. I mean, it's great. Apollo's spectacle that he puts on is brilliant, but I don't know. It still feels quite thin to me. His reason for fighting.
I just wants to have one more shot in the limelight. He feels like he's being forgotten.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
you know, he's fighting a fighter that he didn't think was much. And in this cut, it shows that Apollo hurts Drago a bit more in that fight. So it shows Rocky that this man has got a weakness. That's the point of the fight. Even to me, it looks like he's getting the crap beaten out of him. And
that's very true.
And I'm really annoyed at this, because a lot of people blame Rocky. Why didn't you throw in the towel? Man, that referee should have stopped that well earlier. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, and also Drago punches him after the bell. Like, the bell's gone and he's still wailing him. Like, you know,
cheater.
That's not Rocky's fault. Yeah, exactly. Cheats.
And it's still got James Brown.
Yeah, still got James Brown. In fact, it felt like a bit more James Brown, actually.
It did feel like an extended James Brown, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah. It felt like a bit more of that, which was nice. I mean, we almost had a live boxing match in the cinema, didn't we, Dave?
We did.
There were some very drunk people in the row behind us who were talking a lot, and a lady got very annoyed. And I think me and Dave only realised sort of at the end what was going on. But yeah, there was a lot of shouting.
There was.
Great.
Well, the man disappeared halfway through the film, but he never came back.
That's true.
And then his girlfriend disappeared about 20 minutes after to get the jackets or something. That's not why you go to the cinema, is it, though? To hear idiots like...
No. Don't go talk all the way through a film. So annoying.
Better to watch a film, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we're right to listen to you, you plum.
It really puts me off going to cinema and have to sit there with other people. But then at the same point, I want people to go to the cinema because that's where, you know, it's the best place to see films. But like me, do you get to a cinema and when it feels empty, you think, yes.
Oh, absolutely. The day that I went with Anna to watch Harry Potter and there was no one else in the cinema, I was like... Oh.
It is great, but then at the same point you think, this is a little bit worrying because you want films to make money.
I also once went to see The Hobbit. I think it was like the second Hobbit movie, and I'd watched it. It was really late on, like everyone had seen it by then, and it was about 2:00 in the afternoon, and it was just me in the cinema and one other bloke. And about 20 minutes into the film, he jumped out of his seat and sprinted out of the cinema, and didn't come back.
Wow!
I was like, oh, okay. I can enjoy the rest of this 3-hour movie to myself.
I wonder where he went.
Yeah. I've always wondered that. Yeah. I wonder what happens.
If you're that guy, get in contact.
His partner was having a baby or something.
Maybe.
Anyway, Rocky.
Oh yeah.
So, how do you feel about do you think the director's cut was needed, Dave? Because you're the big Rocky fan here, aren't you?
Yeah, I am a big Rocky fan. I love Rocky films, and Rocky IV is my favourite Rocky film. And like I said earlier, now we have 2 Rocky films to go back and watch. Do I think it's needed? Personally, no. I think Rocky 4 is perfectly brilliant movie is. Rotten Tomato critic score is 40%. So a lot of people will say it isn't.
They're wrong.
But this one, yeah, I still really enjoyed it. I still really liked it. In fact, when I was at the end, I was like, I don't really remember anything that much different. But once you start reading about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that was different. The beginning was different. And, you know, like I said, the robots not needed. And they try and flush out Apollo and Drago a bit more. But I'm still there for the montages and the music and the actual last, half an hour and the fight in Russia. And that still plays pretty much the same. You know, at the first they're all booing him, and then at the end they're all cheering him, and it's, you know, he saved the world kind of thing.
It's still got the epic cheese factor.
It does still feel very cheesy.
Yeah.
And it still, for me, felt very 80s.
I think it probably felt cheesy in 1985, right? It's not, you know, it's a movie that revels in its cheesiness. You know, that's okay.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. I don't want him to go back. Look, if he was going back and fixing a Rocky film, then this is not the one I would have picked.
No, 5's the one you would have picked, right?
5 would be the one I picked.
5 needs a lot of fixing, though. There's probably not enough footage in the world to fix that.
Yeah, I don't know where his need to fix... He must have been thinking about this for a while. And obviously this was a pandemic.
I think he probably knew there was stuff on the cutting room floor that he could use.
Yeah.
For this, that maybe there isn't for 5.
I'm pretty sure you could just cut 5 differently with the material there and it would work a little bit better.
You reckon?
Yeah, or just change the music a bit. But yeah.
It'd still end up with Rocky having a street brawl instead of a boxing match, though, wouldn't it? There's still an unsatisfactory ending. Yeah,
there is. And it still have that Stallone not quite sure how to play Rocky in Rocky 5 problem.
Yeah.
Because, if you listen to the Stu Whiffen, we go on about this quite often, that in the first 2-3, he's not a clever man, and then he suddenly gets his wits about him, and he's suddenly a marketing savvy. You know, he knows what's going on, and then suddenly in 5 again, he's back to them and R a lot more. But fix Rocky 5. No need to fix Rocky 4. But now they fixed Rocky 4, and I've seen it. I'm perfectly happy with it.
Yeah, me too. I think it was a thoroughly fun evening out. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but would you say, if someone said, shall I watch it or watch the original, what would you say?
Oh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one, actually. Do you lose anything from this recut that you get from the original, apart from maybe the robot?
It's all down to the robot, isn't it?
It's all down to the robot, basically. No, I don't know. I think me personally, I think I preferred this recut to the original because I like knowing, getting that extra bit about the characters, and I feel I feel a little bit like we're seeing a bit more of their actual real lives, whereas the original one, you kind of feel like you're on this roller coaster and, you know, you're just kind of skirting along the surface a little bit. Whereas this felt a little deeper. If
you're fans of the Rocky 1 and 2, and then not the ones when it kind of gets away from being a boxing film and it gets kind of this popcorny, culture-y, I'm about to say mess, but it's not a mess. Then you'll like this version better. It's more grounded.
See, I think Rocky 2 is my favourite Rocky. And so this kind of, although I've not seen 3 yet, so
well, you've seen the end now.
I've seen the end because essentially the whole end of that movie is the start of this movie,
pretty much.
Which it wasn't before, was it?
No,
that felt different. I don't remember that.
Beginning of 4, Rocky 3 ends with Apollo Creed and Stallone having their trilogy fight, but in a gym. And it's just it cuts just before they're about to punch each other. That's the end of Rocky 3, and 4 pretty much picks up, if I remember right, kind of that bit. Because
I don't think I've seen Mr. T because I've not seen 3. I don't think I'd seen Mr. T before.
No, you were surprised about Mr. T. It was in the third one.
Yeah,
I mentioned everything.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So, and I have seen Rocky 4 before. So if Rocky 4 had started like this one, I'd have known Mr. T was in it because he's in the first 5 minutes of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I would have known that. But yeah, I definitely preferred this recut. I think it lost some of the silly bits that it doesn't need that make Rocky 4 a big spectacle. But I think that's what you liked about it.
I like that. I'm going to say campness, but it's not the right word. But you know what I mean? That
the
silliness. Yeah, the silliness. I think that's what makes it fun. That's what. Yeah.
I get that.
But then I've watched the Gatti Ward fight, and because I used to think Rocky was not like real boxing, and now I've seen boxing matches that are like the Rocky fights. So, I don't know what's up and down anymore.
Yeah, true.
Do you think more directors should go out and change films this much?
Yeah, why not? Like, it just lets us enjoy things again, doesn't it? So I'm all for watching movies that I never got a chance to watch in the cinema.
Yeah, I love that. That was great. That was great.
Yeah, and because I could never watch Rocky in 1985. I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to go and watch that. I would like to. Yeah, George Lucas, go back and recut Star Wars and let's watch Star Wars in the cinema.
Don't encourage him again. George, if you're listening, don't do that. You've had your time to try.
Don't reshoot anything. Let's be clear on that. Don't add any CGI.
Oh man, I think we should unequal sequel. Yes or no?
Oh,
I mean, we still don't actually understand this question ourselves. So
no. Well, this is really hard on this one because it is. I would say unequal because it's not the same as the original. It's a different version. But again, I haven't seen Rocky 3, so I don't know if Rocky 3 is any good or not.
It is good. Yeah, it's great.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, I'm going with the unequal sequel because I'm comparing the two. I'm comparing Rocky 4 to Rocky 4, Rocky versus Drago.
Yeah.
Drago, sorry.
You know what? After all I said, I think it's an equal sequel to Rocky 4. I think it's just as good, just in a different way.
Yeah.
You were sitting next to me. I was singing and clapping.
You were, yeah. You definitely were singing. I was thinking, that woman's going to have a go at us in a minute. Stop singing.
It's great. It hit all the beats.
It's not a sing-along, Dave.
I had a wonderful time. What would you score it?
I really enjoyed it. I score it out of 7. I really enjoyed it. I probably marginally enjoyed it more than the original version.
Okay.
I think a 5.5.
That, you know what? I'm going to say exactly the same. And I really like, and I would give possibly Rocky 4 7 out of 7.
Oh, so you didn't like it as much as the original?
No. No. But, and this is how good we are at critics, being critics rich.
We're not critics. We're just silly people that like film and talk about it. We're not critics. We're not. If you want that, go and listen to Mark Kermode.
He is great. Critics. I don't know how he felt about this. I'm sure hopefully he liked it because I've read a few reviews and they're very either 4 stars or 2 stars out of 5. These all are
right. Yeah.
Some people say it's the best for instant sliced bread, and then some people are like there's no need for this. So it's up to you again, listeners.
I'm a little of both.
Yeah.
There probably wasn't any need for it, but I still liked it.
Yeah, and that's a lovely place to finish it, Rich.
If you really like Rocky movies, then I would suggest you go and listen to our Stu Whiffin episode that was out on Monday, just before this one came.
Yeah.
Because he really likes boxing movies too. We talk a lot about boxing movies, not just Rocky. So yeah, go back and have a listen to that. And then while you're doing that, go back and have a listen to all our other episodes because they're all brilliant. And you've got loads and loads to choose from. We're nearly at 40 episodes now, Dave, if you include all the extras.
This will be our 40th. 41.
40 episodes. Crikey.
41 including the trailer.
Wow. That's impressive. We've done all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, check us out. You can also find us on the Pod Bible podcast out this week. So check us out on that as well. And check out our little, we're going to have a little interview on the Pod Bible website and also in the Pod Bible magazine again in December. So yeah, check us out on there. You can follow us on Twitter at Unequal Sequel. You can follow us on Instagram at Unequal Sequel. And you can send us an email, unequalsequel@hotmail.com. Woohoo!
Also, don't forget to rate and subscribe us on all your podcasting platforms, please.
Oh, you slipped into 1970s Radio 1
That's
DJ then.
Fab, yeah.
Which is, sorry, I've just realised how inappropriate that might be. No one wants to be in the Radio 1 DJ from the 70s.
No. And on that note, it's a goodbye from me. Bye-bye. And it's a goodbye from him.
Bye!
See you next time. Bye.